Welcome back to Down But Not Out. Roll the intro. Welcome back, Down But Not Out. I'm still wearing a boot, but we've got some exciting news for you because the time has come to transition out the boot, and I'm going to demonstrate my lovely walking for you in a minute. As you can see, I'm in high spirits. It's week 13. I'm going to have to get the lunch ready, but more on that in a minute. Alexa, off. Thank you. Sorry if I triggered anyone's AI out there. Yeah, I'm in good... Alexa, off. Bloody hell, I can't get the staff these days. Yeah, all good. I'm in high spirits. Things are progressing nicely. And to be honest, I'm over the halfway mark of when I'm going to return to running. So that's a good feeling. So in this video, we're hoping to make it a condensed, action-packed video. We're going to bring you updates and specifics on rehab. So if you're struggling with Achilles or calf injuries yourself, you'll have some stuff to work on. What training I have been able to do and how that has built up and what the kind of structure of that is and how I'm trying to stay fit, not get fat essentially. And then also some advice that I've had from nutritionists and all the things that I've added or changed about my diet since I've been injured to really try and promote and accelerate recovery. Which brings us on to today's sponsor. Yes, we've got a sponsor. All right, so since recovering, sort of trying to recover rather, from this injury, a massive thing that I've tried to do is look at all the other areas of lifestyle and training that I wasn't quite necessarily hitting or optimizing. As part of that, I had a meeting with a nutritionist, and one thing that came from it was, cool, Callum, your diet's great, healthy, balanced diet. All of these different things are fantastic. There was two glaringly obvious things. One of them, I think, is called like the consistency of my protein intake, basically like the stability of my protein levels throughout the day. So I'm getting enough protein overall, but I might be having it in like big chunks during my meals rather than topping up the levels all day, which again, science people in the comments, you can get on this, but I think it's to do with a good level of like protein synthesis throughout the day and making sure that you're kind of always recovering. Well, that's the way that I've approached it. So as a way to counteract that, I've done two things. One is different supplements and stuff, which I'll show you later in the video. And another part of it is trying to basically meal prep in advance. So on like a Monday or a Sunday, I'm making meals that'll last me like 3 or 4 days, and the snacks that are going to go with them that are also high protein. So it means that I'll have like my breakfast snack, lunch snack, dinner snack, all involving a good level of protein. So because I've been getting into my meal prep, and if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen various cooking related things along with the usual jigsaw content, not getting old at all. When HelloFresh got in touch, we thought, you know what, this is something that's all going to link together. They're going to help us out with some products. We're going to get to rustle up some good food, and then we're going to also be able to tell you some valuable stuff about them. And it just so happens that today we're having a high protein 21-day aged steak. Bash!
Bash! Johnny, give us a boss. Calm down.
Jokes aside, I know this is a sponsored segment, but some of the benefits of HelloFresh are actually really understated. I've always been someone to kind of be a little bit questionable about the traditional thing of why don't you just go to the supermarket, buy the food you want and then make it. I didn't actually realise until I started to receive a couple of boxes that you basically get to eliminate all of the inconvenience of having to go to the supermarket. All the food arrives and then you still get the fun bit of actually cooking. Like I wouldn't like a meal prep service where I don't get to cook, because I find it a good release, like at the end of the day or even at lunchtime, having like a half-an-hour break and actually making something, for better or worse. So essentially you get the convenience of all the food arriving, you get it in the quantities that you need, you get way more variety to choose from than I actually thought, because I assumed it'd all just be like, you know, you get 9 or 10 things to choose from. I was literally scrolling down this list for ages of stuff to choose from. And then the instructions, as much as I joke about them, really clear and simple to follow, so you actually end up making dishes that you wouldn't normally make. So yeah, pretty cool product. You're going to find out in a minute whether I can put together this little steak and potatoes dinner for myself and Charlie and get his honest opinion from behind the lens. But yeah, if you want to get involved with HelloFresh, then there's some code and information on screen right now. I think it's Distance60. It gets you 60% off your first box, I believe, and you get free desserts for life. And you're thinking, oh, how can a brand give people free desserts for life? I know, I'm literally just as skeptical, but let me show you the desserts. They're unreal, right? Quality, little choco brownie. Charlie might get that if he's a good boy today.
How would you sum up your cooking skills, Callum?
Genuinely, I think I'm a pretty good chef. A bit of olive oil coming right up. There's what he's doing this like. Perfect distribution of the old rosemary there.
See what that tastes like.
That's a good sauce. Time to dress the tomatoes, I believe. Modern household, mate. important. You don't want to get contamination. Get this in the wash straight away. Man does the cooking and the cleaning. Lights. I don't have a sauna, so this is what I do instead. Oh, they're looking beautiful. 3 minutes. Because I'm a domestic king. Do you leave these to rest? I think you do. Let me get on my mustard sauce. Unreal investment.
On a nice cold plate, cool them down.
Oh, you Normally I don't really follow recipes, which is to my demise, I think, because I like to think I'm some sort of like Heston Blumenthal, you know, cooking with liquid nitrogen, trailblazing chef, when actually I should probably just do what people that know what they're doing say. But I like just grabbing stuff out of the cupboard sometimes. But this is actually pretty helpful because I'm learning to do things that I didn't previously know, i.e. I just chuck tomatoes in a salad. I don't dress the tomatoes, you know? So there we go. One for me.
Have you been watching all the Diamond Leagues this week?
Oh, Diamond League. Oslo last night, based on when we're recording, you're going to see this on Wednesday, so you'll see this. Stockholm will have already happened, so obviously we don't know the results from that. But last night in the 1500, it was the Jakob Superman diving finish to beat Chariot. And from a British perspective, Mills and Giles ran 3:31, both of them, I think. Giles beat Mills, interesting. And if you've not seen it, this is a bit of content after this video to go and watch. Go on to Athletics Weekly's Instagram, I think it's them, or Cities Mag, one of the two, I can't remember, and watch Giles' post-race interview, right? And he's also got a YouTube channel as well, which I'll probably forget, but I will put it in the description if I remember. And he's showing all the training and stuff and his mentality, and he's just got a beast mentality. And he's so pumped up in this after race interview, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna beat him. I've decided I'm beating him. So now I'm actually like, I'm rooting for him, honestly. He's doing the 800 at Euros and then in the summer. So yeah, that was a sick post-race interview, because sometimes people are a bit wishy-washy and are kind of just like, oh, it was all right, or like, I'm gonna work on this. But he was just like raw emotion, which yeah, was good. So go and watch that afterwards if you've not. I know this is turning into a bit of a non-athletics video, but bear with us. But while those potatoes are cooking, we're going to spin over and I'm going to tell you the other nutrition and supplements that you might want to try. So pretty much since we started the channel, everyone's always been like, do a day in the life this, what do you eat, what do you drink? And I'm always hesitant to give people specific advice or to recommend stuff because I'm not qualified or professional. But in this specific circumstance, being injured, and how I've maybe changed away from the normal, I think it's quite interesting to share. What I've got up on my laptop is the report from a nutritionist that I met with. This was sometime in April, I think, so a bit of a time ago. And I've put all this into place over the last couple of months. And it doesn't necessarily work for everyone. It's not necessarily something you should do, but I think it's quite interesting. So a few of the things I've got here that I've been doing. First thing is this bad boy. This is called tart cherry juice. Essentially, I buy it in a bottle form. You can get it in shots. I think it's a bit cheaper this way. You dilute like about 30 mils, 25 mils with some water, and I have that every morning. And what this is supposed to do, apparently, is have natural antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that help reduce muscle soreness and aid recovery. She basically said, you're getting in all your vitamins from your fruit and veg, but if you want to just double down and get a massive hit, then this is the way to do it. All of these brands, by the way, are what I've found to be the most accessible based on cost, being Informed Sports certified, and being like in the form that I would prefer. We're not associated with any of them apart from OTE, which are a long-time sponsor of mine, just to get that in. This is not a paid promotion. The second thing is this, which is called casein protein. This is slightly different to the other types of protein that I use. So if I'm having like a protein shake during the day or something, I'll use super protein, or like in my protein oats, I'll use like an anytime protein. These are primarily from whey, which is like a substrate of dairy or something like that. Where the casein protein, I believe, is slightly different, is that it's slower release. So here it's telling me to have it before bed. Casein protein supports muscle repair and recovery during the sleep. It digests slowly and is a sustained release. So ideally, the 8 hours that I'm asleep, if I have this before bed, either in a shake form or like with some yogurt or however I'm going to have it, it should be helping me recover overnight. So that's something I've been trying. This flavour's actually pretty clapped. I regret buying it in such a big bulk, but I was being cost effective. Final other thing, and these two are kind of disputed a little bit. So again, just saying, this one is from Pillar Performance. This is called Ultra Immune C. I have this even when I'm not injured, or a version of it, not necessarily this brand, but it's basically just extra vitamin C support. As a runner, you really don't want to get ill when you're traveling to do races, or you're just trying to, like me, go on the bike every day and aid your recovery. You don't want to be in bed feeling all weak and fragile. So just a way to kind of boost your immunity. So you might want to try something like that. There's millions of different alternatives of vitamin C you can have. And then the final one, this is creatine, which again, this is an Informed Sport one. This is the most disputed bit of evidence, so do not take this as gospel. But there's some evidence to say, and this is what I was initially told, is that during a period of injury, obviously like with my left leg, my calf muscle is like massively detracting and wasting away. Like I'm not using it for 3-4 months at a time. So as a way to try and keep up some muscle mass, taking creatine can help. So I was having quite a high dosage. I won't go into necessarily what I was having because that's going to be specific to you. But I was having quite a big dosage for a 2-week period and then dropped the dosage for another 6 weeks. And this is something that I'm still doing now. And that mainly is just, you know, whether there's evidence for it or not, I don't know. But if it's a 1% thing that can help me maintain some muscle mass, help my calf and Achilles repair and grow back a bit quicker, then it could be worth doing. So yeah, that's a bit of a selection of other things. Obviously I'm having a healthy balanced diet first. You've seen the kind of meals that I'm prepping, the types of lunches that I'm having. I'm having electrolytes, hydration, all that stuff. But I thought this might be interesting to show. You might want to research some of the stuff yourself. You might want to try some of the stuff. I won't put any links to anything because I think it's totally subjective for you to go and try and do your own thing. But if you want to try anything from OTE, like I said, they are a sponsor of mine. And there's a link in the description of every video for that. So yeah.
The pan is smoking quite.
Cooking.
How's your presentation skills?
Oh, just wait. This way. We don't have any steak knives. I'm not being funny, but you can have the pink one. Not bad.
I'm actually impressed.
Oh, those potatoes are divine. Alright, so what I thought we'd do is, because we've not really done this in depth, just because with this sort of injury it's such a slow recovery process that there's not updates to tell you every couple of days, but I'm out of the boot now. As you can see, my leg looks pretty, I'd say Distance Project sock by the way, look pretty normal. Obviously it's a bit thinner. You can see is this too gruesome to show? It's not really, just you can see the scar.
It's all healed.
Can you get that in? Pretty. So that's where I've been actually spiked open, and then that's where the actual surgeries happen. So as you can see, it's pretty, like, we're getting there back basically. And essentially my rehab is so boring to date that all it really looks like is just trying to get things through the calf. So you will have seen, if you follow me on Instagram, some of my initial clips when I was trying to do like a seated calf raise. I literally would be like this, like going up so slowly, like nothing was really happening. Now I've progressed to like, I can use the heavier weight, but for the sake of this one, I've progressed to getting like my foot at a decent place with the weight on and some pressure and getting all the way up right to the top, holding it for like 3-5 seconds and back down, and then obviously repeating those. So that is essentially just a step away from doing a normal standing calf raise that non-injured people would do in the gym, and it is just to try and build it back. I'm still doing it on the right hand side as well because it can all link in and help you out apparently. But yeah, pretty much all it's been is sitting there, and then I kind of alternate light and heavy days. So for my heavier days, Alice, not calling her heavy, but she's heavier than that, she'll sit on my knee while we're watching TV, and then that's where I'll get in like the really heavy work. So that's all for my calf, and then I have to obviously work on like the inversion and I think they call it aversion. Is that the opposite of inversion? I don't know. Basically the in and out movement of your foot. So if you imagine my good foot, like I've got such good range there, I can push against things, and all your muscles that you need for when you're running, like if you have ever suffered with shin splints or anything, it might be a weakness there. I have to work on that. So for those, again, super simply, I'll have a resistance band attached to something, normally something a bit heavier than that, and they're super simple, like pulling. And I'll go to when I go to the gym, I'll get one of the cable machines, maybe attached like 20-30 kg, and then do it so it's really working it. So from a rehab perspective, that's pretty much what I've been doing to specifically address the area, as well as a few other little bits and bobs. And then my gym work as a whole has basically looked almost like exactly normal. Can still do all the upper body stuff that I would do, can still do all the same core routine, and then it's been about working the muscles that I can work. So from there downwards, I've basically not been able to really touch, but everything else trying to do hamstring curls, glute bridges, leg extension in the gym, abduction stuff, like basically working all the other muscles I can. And the reason being is to try and put myself in the best possible position when I do return to running, that I'm not suddenly going to pick up loads of injuries and niggles and I'm going to sit there and go, oh, why did I waste all that time? So that's what the rehab looks like. I'm now going to lace up my shoes in the house. Sorry, Alice. And yeah, we'll head and get a coffee and see what the walking's looking like. One thing that actually is more annoying than you'd imagine is obviously I've only been wearing my right shoes with the boot. So now I've just got all these brand new left shoes that all arrived from Hoka that all just look totally different. So if you look how dirty and how clean they are, this is maybe not even the worst example, but now I'm basically that guy that's walking around with some sort of fresh brand new shoe on the left foot and just some clapped battered shoe on the right, so that's actually annoying.
Wait, what? New boot goofing.
This is good progress though. If you've watched the previous videos, then you know how I was walking in the boot and you know I had the crutches, and now look, it's relatively normal. We're getting there. And this is only 5 days into walking as well. So took no steps for 3 months on my foot. 5 days in, I'm walking like this, and that's pretty good. If you're sick of me talking about walking, I'm sorry, but I'm just pleased to be doing it again, to be honest. Yeah, great little coffee that. Shout out to Canto, the Filipino coffee shop just near my house. Convenient for a man that can't walk very far, how close it is. But yeah, one thing that we were just discussing actually, we just had a bit of a meeting about all things running and the channel and different bits and bobs. But one thing that we thought, basically I'll just be honest, we're deciding, do we address it directly on the video or not? And I think it's good to directly address it, is to do with sponsorships and advertisements. So my idea that Charlie's watered down was to go and show you in the house all the products that we've got sent and been offered money to advertise that we've said no because we don't actually think they're good. But as Charlie pointed out, that would actually be advertising them indirectly. So instead, we're just going to tell you that we are selective with who we're working with. We do place a value, but we're just doing a bit of maths and stuff like that. And like the sponsorship that you've seen in this video, a few others deals that we have signed, plus like some of the ad revenue, which we get from you watching these and the adverts that you see at the start, we have got enough money, so we've just listed out what we're going to be able to buy, to basically get a full new camera rig, microphones, all the technical stuff that we need. So all of our like flagship bits of content, we can massively upgrade the level, because now we'll have like multiple cameras, better quality. Charlie banged his head. We'll have multiple cameras, better audio, better quality, all that sort of stuff. So if you did see the sponsorship and you thought, oh, it's a bit annoying or whatever that reason might be, one, we believe in the products that we're advertising. We genuinely think that they offer a good service. Two, they're paying us fairly. We wouldn't just do it for like peanuts. It's like very fair value. And three, it's allowing us to reinvest to make the channel and the videos better. So hopefully this video, you've still got some value from it in terms of the rehab, the training I've been able to do, learning some stuff about the nutritional changes and things like that. Hopefully a bit of entertainment, and it's been a bit of a light watch, and that you can put up with the sponsored elements because you know it's really helping out the channel. And you know me, I wouldn't say that if I didn't genuinely mean it. And like I said, if I had my way, I'd go and show you all the things that we've said no to advertising, but Charlie doesn't want to do that. So yeah, decent. A quick thing, just to kind of wrap up this video, is something that you might not know about. What we're going to be doing as the summer goes on, we're going to be creating more content about the summer races, right? And the championships, European champs, Olympics, British championships, Olympic trials, that sort of thing. Loads of the questions that came in on the Q&A were about what British athletes you think are going to make the team, what do you think about this athlete's chances, blah, 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 blah. What a lot of people don't know is that anyone, you at home, we'll put the link in description. If you go to the British Champs website, or British Athletics website, there's a section under the British Championships called Athlete Information. And if you just click, I'll show you now, you can click on something called Athlete Acceptances, and that will show you, Charlie, will that focus? That will show you all of the athletes that have been invited to the British Champs because they meet the standard, and it will tell you whether they've accepted for that event or not. So I'll give you an example now. If we go to my event bias, but if we go to men's 1500 metres, you'll be able to see here all of the names. So you can see me there, I've been invited, Callum, Adam Fogg, Elliot Giles, all these people. And you can see on the side whether they're invited and whether yet they've accepted their entry. So obviously you can see for me there, Callum Elson invited. I'm not going to accept it because I'm not going to be able to run. But obviously some athletes are invited for multiple events. So you might be invited for 800 and 1500 or 1500 and 5K. If you keep an eye on that over the next couple of weeks, it's very interesting how it plays out with certain athletes accepting for multiple events, and you're thinking, how are you going to do both of those events at the championship? Some of them that you think maybe would be doing one event might accept for another and stuff like that. It's not for me to go into individual athlete circumstances, but if you go on there, you might find things quite interesting. And then it also has the full event timetable there. So after you've seen what events people are doing, you can see when those events will be across the weekend. And yeah, if you go and have a look at that and you find it interesting, drop in the comments what your findings are, because I'm sure you'll see what I'm alluding to for a couple of different athletes, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, we're definitely creating some content for the UK Championships, which is the 29th to the 30th of June, so this month as of when you're watching this video. A few different bits and different ideas and stuff that we can't necessarily say yet, but there will definitely be something on this channel and potentially things elsewhere as well, so keep an eye out for the British Champs content. Yeah. Alright, so obviously we've hit a big milestone on the channel, right? We've hit 10,000 subscribers, which is great. Unfortunately for 10,000 subscribers they don't actually send you a plaque, YouTube, so I'm going to present Charlie here. This is the best thing that I could do. This is, it may look like my 2022 Academic All Conference trophy, but Charlie McCarthy, just want to say congratulations, 10,000 subscribers. You can get to take this home. You might have to etch out and change a few details, but that's for you. So thanks to everyone for subscribing to the channel. The next milestone, this is going to get even bigger and better, maybe something even custom. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, see you in the next one.